So the Lippizzaners have a very rich history dating back about 450 years. The horses you see here before you are all from those horses from that time ago. However, our story is quite unique. During World War II, our founder, Count Major, who was an animal lover through and through, couldn't bear to see his horses go through the world wars. They were being used to build carriages and cannons and being used to feed soldiers. He couldn't imagine it happened to the Lippizzaners. So he decided to move them out of the war. First, he settled in England for a year or two before he finally arrived in the port of KwaZulu-Natal, in the port of Durban, and they settled there. The story is actually quite lovely. He took out one of his Lippizzaners a couple of years later, and he met a fellow animal lover. And the two of them thought, no, South Africa is the place to showcase what the Lippizzana can do. So they started their own little performance team, but for that they needed riders. And unfortunately, this was in the 50s, 60s, so they, as a non-profit organization, we couldn't always afford a breadwinner's salary. So we started bringing in ladies, and these ladies would ride. But of course, these ladies spent lots of their time there, like our families still do. They're like, what are you doing there with all the time? So he invited their families to start joining them every Sunday, and they would watch the ladies ride. And that is how the tradition started of the South African Lipizzaners forming here in South Africa. And then our next big change actually happened, unfortunately, after COVID-19. It was a worldwide pandemic, and it hit us hard as well. We had a loss of funds, and we were very generously offered the opportunity to move down here to the Western Cape, to Mistico Equestrian Centre, owned by the Wall family, and we've been home here ever since. So we've carried on. We are entering in our 77th year of the South African Lipizzaners here in South Africa, so we're getting those triple digits, but we depend on the public and sponsors and supporters and people to come watch our shows to make sure we can reach that 100-year milestone. Because after all, these horses are just a rich part of our heritage, through the student program and education. They're also providing a future for fellow South Africans and, the youth of South Africa. And I think in troubling times like we are facing, like we always face as time goes on, it's incredibly important.
From a training point of view, we run a program, a student program, a 10-month program that First Rand sponsors 8 students a year for 10 months. And then we have 5 private students. Then we run our staff. We've got training riders. We've got junior riders and then riders. So our team this year is not that big. I think we're running this team. I think we are 7.
Yes, so we're quite a small team, but very small but powerful for sure. We're all very privileged to work here. The Lippizzana is very incredibly rare breed. There's about 130 of them in South Africa. And the special thing about the horses here in South Africa are their lineage dates back to the original Lippizzaners. So not only do you see living history in front of you, you see what they were trained to do. They were trained to perform the movements, and we showcase that. It's quite a lovely setup. Here we showcase the past, and our stud farm ensures the future. So it's a lovely mix of the two. And then we've always believed, and Arjun's always taught us to ensure the future through education. So it's so lovely to have the First Rand part of our program, because by educating South Africa's youth, we're not only creating a more positive future, but also benefiting those who have a passion. And I think at the end of the day, if you do your passion, you never work a day in your life. But doesn't that sound like a grand time to spend your day?
Maybe just on the kind of clothing you're wearing. Why is this like this?
So there's actually quite a special story about it. When we first started riding, someone came to do a movie or shoot something about the horses. And well, the foal brown color just wasn't doing it for the director. So he said to them, why not red? So ever since then, we've become very popular, known for our red tailcoats and all the white horses, and it's become quite an integral part. So what I'm wearing is just our standard long pair of boots, white breeches, a white stock tie, which indicates my rank as a rider, and then my red tails. Your red tails are also something you only achieve once you join the school quadrille, which is the height of the stallion's training, and our training is very similar to our training as well.
Yeah, once you've gone through the training rider,
The student program, you
student
will.
program, training rider, then young rider, then rider.
Yes.
That's when you then basically.
Yes, you have to produce a horse into the school control. So you quite literally take a horse and teach them the ABCs all the way, and then once they reach that level, you earn your.
So it does take a while to actually produce the rider, not only the horse. So I think what they're very lucky here is like we've got, I call them schoolmasters, the older horses. So that helps us a lot with the training. When you put a younger rider on, that they can actually call it fast track them, so that they can feel what it's supposed to feel like, and then train their own horse after that. So that helped us quite a lot to get the teams quicker and stronger, and say stronger team. So that's why the older horses are very, very important for us as well to maintain. Look, they've got more maintenance because they're older than the younger horses, but without them, it's very difficult to actually train the student or the rider so quickly.
How many horses do you have?
What is 28?
There's 28 here. We have
Performing stallions.
Yes, there's 28 performing stallions in this barn, and
Yes,
then
stud.
we've got about 30 odd horses on the stud farm. That's our mares, our foals, the upcoming
Yeah.
performance horses. Everyone's there.